and I think that's the dialogue that the Cameroonian government wants with yourselves and the diaspora as well. Do you know anything about that? Are you invited? Are you going to go to talk to the government of Cameroon?
The Cameroon has lost political legitimacy in Ambazonia. We control over 80% of our territory in a dynamic fashion. It's an illegal government and has no claim over our territory. And in the past 57 years, Cameroon has failed to listen to any domestic approach of dialogue. It has presented itself as a brutal occupation. And we want Cameroon out of our country. And we can do that in two ways. We will defeat them outrightly in battle and kick them out of our country, or we ask the international system to set up an independent system that can have a negotiated settlement for Cameroon to exit out of Amazonia. What Mr. Biya, who has ruled that country for close to 50 years, is trying to do is to take back an international initiative and domesticate it in a way that he can maintain power and maintain control over our territory, and I have rejected that, and the Ambazonian people have also rejected that.
What is the world saying about this? The United Nations, for instance, you're talking about a negotiated settlement. I mean, there's nothing new about your concerns, and it would appear that there's no one who's taking note of what is going on there, such that the negotiated settlement that you're talking about could have been embarked upon a long time ago.
We have, myself sitting in front of you, I've been fighting for close to 30 years. We've been victims of the international system's silence because they conspired with Cameroon and against Ambazonia to allow Cameroon to occupy our country. And I think they are ashamed, to look at these issues. At the moment that we are talking, 5.5 million Ambazonians are affected by the conflict. There are hundreds of thousands of IDPs scattered in bushes where women are giving birth in the middle of the forest. Schools have been closed for 3 years. The world has said nothing. We have asked for protective humanitarian intervention to protect the civilian population based on the spirit of what late Kofi Annan, put in place. So the world is not really interested in the aspirations of the Ambazonian people. They are more interested in saving Cameroon and saving their business interests. But we have told them that this generation has risen to write the last chapter of Cameroon's presence in our homeland.
I mean, the world is in New York right now at the UN. Perhaps you could have been there to raise these issues sharply.
We have been talking to different governments on the necessity for them at this particular stage to be able to become involved. And we will really wish, and that's why part of the reasons why I'm in South Africa, we want African issues to be dealt with within the continent. And South Africa represents, to most Africans, the center of political freedom, and their involvement in ensuring that a credible system is put in place that can resolve the root causes of this problem is quite important. And I hope that the faith that African activists and Ambazonians have had on South Africa, will translate into some meaningful engagement that will terminate Cameroon's presence in our country.
Okay, let's take a call now from Kunta in Cape Town. Kunta, good afternoon to you. Thanks for calling. Yeah. Oh, okay.
silent.
Yeah.
It's pathetic. We see that they have the amount of increase in oil that others use.
All right. Kunta, thank you very much in Cape Town. Let's wrap up then with Dr. Ayaba here. So what is the way forward? You've been in South Africa. Have you met with government here, the governing ANC, and other like-minded parties, for instance? From here, from South Africa, where are you going to go to make sure that AMBAZONIA is free?
The first thing is to galvanize the South African population who understands what it means to live under oppression. Our resistance is a grassroots movement, a bottom-up approach, because we believe very sincerely that once the people rise up, they can have a sense of ownership in the outcome of their resistance. And so I want to call on the South African population to bring pressure to bear on their various institutions and political parties to support the Ambazonian quest for a separate homeland. I will be talking to some ANC officials in the coming days to appeal to them to look back in history and the journey that the South African people have walked, and to realize that the reasons why they didn't call it the South African National Congress is symbolic. It's called the African National Congress. And so they should look beyond their own shores and see the plight of other peoples.
Got you. Dr. Cho Ayaba, thank you very much. Frontline leader of the Ambazonian Governing Council. Good luck to you, and thanks for coming through. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for having me.
Time now for sport with Lona Gomis.